Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lydia Embronyosa, OB at 218, your discussant for today. The topic that I will discuss today is all about legal foundation, sources of Philippine educational jurisprudence. Let us first understand the meaning of the word jurisprudence. What is jurisprudence? It is the theoretical study of law or legal theory. Law and Justice is an example of jurisprudence. Why it is important for us to understand the meaning of the word jurisprudence. For us to identify clearly what are the sources of Philippine educational jurisprudence. The main source of Philippine educational jurisprudence is the Constitution, wherein it is the law is written in order to afford and provide quality education. Here are the several examples of Constitution wherein it is written. The first is the Article 14 from the 1987 Constitutions from Section 1 to 19, which tackle different sectors of education. The next is constitutional education. The state shall provide free and compulsory education to all children of the age 6 to 14 years, and such manner as state may, by law, determine. This is the public education from elementary to high school. It is different from the higher education or the college, wherein it is not free and it is not given by the state. Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution, Section 1. The state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels, and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. Every educational system should provide quality education to their students. The next is statutes, or the acts and other terms. Act refers to Republic Act number 105-33. The statute made the Enhanced Basic Education of 2013, an act enhancing the Philippine basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appropriating funds, therefore, for other purposes, otherwise known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. This is the act wherein every system or curriculum should increase their strength to provide quality education yearly. Republic Act 7877, an act declaring sexual harassment and unlawfulness in the employment, education, or training environment and for other purposes. This act protects us from sexual harassment whether you are a student, teacher, tutor, or employee. Education Act of 1982, an act providing for establishment and maintenance of an integrated system of education. In accordance with Section 2, this act shall apply to and govern both formal and non-formal system in public and private schools in all levels of the entire educational system. This act holds the power that every educational system should be comfortable for the students, whether it's public or in private sectors of school. The other one source is case law or jurisprudence. It pertains to law that came straight from court decisions. It is consisting particularly of judicial interpretation of the Constitution. The statute or the common law also includes Supreme Court and lower court decisions. Example of this is 1935 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, Article 14, Section 5. All education institutions shall be under the supervision of and subject to regulation by the state. The government shall establish and maintain a complete and adequate system of public education and shall provide at least free public primary instructions and citizenship training to adult citizens. This Constitution indicates that states regulates and supervise it all educational institution, part of the government to create and organize a system that is complete adequate. 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, Article 14, Section 1. The state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. The other source is regulatory law. Example of this is education law. Education law encompasses laws and regulations governing school systems and students' rights movements. It deals with law and regulation that govern federal and state schools, school boards, and school system, as well as protecting students' rights. The Educational Act of 1982, Batas Pambansa Bilang 232, in Section 2, Coverage, this act shall apply to and govern both formal and non-formal systems in public and private schools and all levels of the entire educational system. Educational Act of 1994, Public Act Number 7722. Section 2. The state shall protect, foster, and promote the right of all citizens to affordable quality education at all levels, and shall take appropriate steps to ensure that education shall be accessible to all. The next is Ordinance, Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. This act refers to Republic Act Number 10533, entitled An Act Enhancing the Philippine Basic Education System by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Learning center refers to a physical space to house learning resources and facilities of a learning program for out-of-school youths and adults. Republic Act 10157, also known as Kindergarten Education Act, which makes kindergarten education the first stage of compulsory and mandatory formal education prior to grade 1. This was actually passed the K-12 law. The last is the resolutions. Article 14, Section 1 to 19 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. The state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. That's all for my discussion, and I hope you gain information from my topic. Thank you all for listening.